Today I want to talk about Ohio State quarterbacks and why I believe Justin Fields is the person to reverse what is becoming, well, a troubling trend, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about Justin Fields and Dwayne Haskins and Ohio State quarterbacks because we're in this really interesting period where Justin Fields has an opportunity to lead Ohio State to its first win against Clemson in Ohio State history and to a national championship game. This is the game that they wanted to get back to in Columbus with an opportunity to play this team with a chance to win a national championship. And I believe Justin Fields is the best quarterback that Ohio State has ever fielded, period. I also think that it's interesting that going into this week, the Washington football team decided to release Dwayne Haskins, the 15th overall pick in the 2019 draft, after some behavior that you can't have from your captain and you can't have from your quarterback. And in response to what I have heard some television folks say, like Booger McFarland, I just don't agree with him, all right? And I don't like that take at all, and that's as much as I want to do to address it. I do want to say this, though. If you take a look at the history of Ohio State quarterbacks just in the 21st century, and the reason I'm going in the 21st century is because the modern game is just different. Around about 2000 on, air raid becomes part of Power 5 football, for instance. You got Craig Krenzel, Troy Smith, Terrell Pryor, Braxton Miller, J.T. Barrett, Cardale Jones, and then Dwayne Haskins. We got national championship quarterback, a national championship quarterback, and a national championship quarterback. And also, oh yeah, Terrell Pryor was one of the highest rated recruits ever to commit to Ohio State. That's now Quinn Ewers, who we all expect to be an outstanding quarterback at Ohio State. And then there's C.J. Stroud. And then there's Jack Miller, despite what some of you might think. And then there's Kyle McCord, right? So I do believe that, kind of like me saying that Ohio State has not had a first-round draft selection of wide receivers since 2007, that's just going to change, right? Whether it is Chris Olave this year or whether it is Garrett Wilson next year. And then Terry McLaurin has been outstanding in this year where we haven't seen much at all of Michael Thomas. But Fields is still that guy. And right now, it's wild interesting to me, and I don't understand it, in which we have people that are arguing not just about Trevor Lawrence being better than Justin Fields, for which I think you're talking about the Pepsi taste test, right? The Coke taste test. Which one do you prefer in a style? But also Zach Wilson. And while I can be here for you talking about Zach Wilson, I'm just not going to be here talking for you or hear you talking about, let me go at this again. I'm not going to be here to hear you talk about Zach Wilson being a better quarterback than Justin Fields. I just don't believe it. And I have 2 years of tape of Justin Fields, right? And the Northwestern game notwithstanding, he's been an outstanding quarterback. And if he's able to beat Brent Venables' defense with the full complement of starters that they will have, there's going to be so much said after that game and how he plays in that game, right? Because he didn't play poorly in the game against Clemson last year. There's been some conversation about his thumb, but he said, I'm fine. I'm going to be fine Friday night. I'm looking forward to that game. There's been so much that's already been said. Dabo Swinney is stirring the pot, and I love that he's stirring the pot because it's fun. I did a radio hit in San Diego talking about this earlier this morning, but I wanted to get on the YouTubes to really drive home this point. Ohio State ran a totally different style of offense with Urban Meyer up until Ryan Day was hired, and with Jim Tressel, in which we did not really expect the quarterback to be a feature. Craig Krenzel running on Miami, I was like, what are we doing here? Maurice Clarett was the dude, right? Troy Smith, you can make an argument on that one. But when you talk about winning quarterbacks in the NFL, it's a different skill set. And Justin Fields has that skill set. He has the skill set to compete in the modern NFL, right? We've seen mock drafts that have him going as high as number 2 to the Jets and as low as number 8 to the New York Giants. Either way, somebody's going to get a ball player, and somebody's going to get a leader, and somebody's going to get a dude that operates the right way. I don't know that Dwayne Haskins was put in the best position to succeed. There's been some conversation about whether or not him being so close to home was such a good thing for him, as opposed to being farther away where he has just football to focus on. But the thing that has been astonishing about Justin Fields this year and in the year prior is just how much his teammates want to follow him into battle and how much better they feel with him at quarterback. There's never been a conversation about replacing him. There's never been a conversation about him not being the guy. He said all the right things all the way through and was one of just 2 major high-profile first-round draft picks to say, no, unequivocally, I want to play college football. So much so that I'm going to team up with the dude that I'm always going to be matched up with forever and ever whenever somebody's trying to do a comparison, Trevor Lawrence, and we're going to go tag team this and say we want to play and advocate for the rights of the athlete and the rights of players. And he's able to do this at a place like Ohio State, which will tell you they care about football. It's one of the largest fan bases in the sport, and they take it so seriously that sometimes it gets just a little edgy and a little too much so. But Fields has thrived in that environment after showing up with lots of pomp and circumstance, right? Remember, when he was able to get the waiver to play right away, it was really a big deal. And at the time, Tate Martell was going, I'm not going away from Ohio State. I'm not going to transfer away. I don't care that Justin Fields is coming in here. Ryan Day's offense is really difficult to learn. It's going to take him some time. Not only did Tate Martell transfer away, Justin Fields picked up that offense and was destructive with it. He was a Heisman finalist in his first year as a starting quarterback in college football, right? Like, along with Chase Young and, man, J.K. Dobbins should have been there, but one of the best tailbacks in all of college football last year. And now he's getting outstanding play from Trey Sermon. Wyatt Davis is a monster on that offensive line. That offensive line is gelling together, and he's got Wilson, he's got Olave, and he's got a really talented group of young receivers, so much so that you're going to watch Mookie Cooper go into the transfer portal and not really miss him. I'm going to keep buying up all this Justin Fields stock that y'all are wanting to put on the ground, especially as the conversation around Ohio State QB play has changed. But I also think that it's unfair. I think it's unfair to compare Justin Fields to Dwayne Haskins. I think it's unfair to compare Dwayne Haskins to almost anybody else. I think this game on Friday is going to do so much for Justin Fields' stock, especially if he can win it. And it's going to do so much for the stock of Ohio State quarterback play if he can win it. So we're all looking forward to the Sugar Bowl in that way. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.